So my first longer trip of the year is going to be the West Highland Way in the beginning of May. The West Highland Way is about 100 miles long and stretches from the outskirts of Glasgow to Fort Williams and shows some of the best scenery Scotland has to offer. It's a popular route that passes quite some small villages, so you can choose to sleep in hotels, hostels and bed and breakfasts. But there's also the option to set up your tent along the route and opt for wild camping, which is great because it is one of the few countries in Europe where this is actually allowed. Of course, I'm taking advantage of this and bring a tent. Now, what kind of circumstances can you expect on the West Highland Way in the beginning of May? Well, the Scottish weather is all over the place. They tend to say a Scottish day can contain all four seasons. During the day it will generally be between 50 degrees Fahrenheit and 70 degrees Fahrenheit, while at night it will be somewhere between 20 degrees Fahrenheit and 50 degrees. You'll usually encounter some rain during the day, but when you hit a bad week it can basically be non-stop downpours, with hefty winds and some hail to top it off. Though it is just as possible to hit a great week and walk in the sun with great temperatures and just some light drizzle here and there. So today I'm going to show you the gear I'll be taking on my West Highland Way trip. I'll start with the big four. First up is my backpack. This is a customized Atom backpack. It's 35 liters, got a hooped carbon frame with a 1/8 inch foam padding, a removable hip belt with pockets, and since then Tom has renamed this style of pack and it's now known as the Atom Plus. Next up is my tent. I'll be taking a 3F UL Luncheon 1. This is the first trip I'll take this tent on. It's a single trekking pole supported tent. If it works, it will become a backup tent, so friends or family would like to join me on the trail, I can supply them with a lightweight tent. My quilt is an Aegis Max Windhard quilt. It's rated to 40 degrees Fahrenheit. I've taken it till about freezing. Works really well, especially since I've adjusted the pad strap system, so I've got less drafts now. And last but not least from the big four is my Sea to Summit Ultralight Insulated, which is a great lightweight pad. It's not as light as something like the Neo Air X Lite, but I find it a lot more comfortable. It's a lot more stable, so it also feels wider, and for me it's a much better sleeping experience, so it's worth the little weight penalty for me. Now onto my clothing system. To kick it off, my Scarpa Mojitos. These shoes are somewhere in between an approach shoe and a trail runner. It's got a bit of a grippier sole and a tougher upper, so it's a bit stiffer than your average trail runner, but works really good in bad weather or rougher terrain. My shirts, I'm taking two of them. The first is my base layer. It's a merino wool shirt from Decathlon. I've been using this shirt since 2016 and it served me really well. It's got flat stitching, it's tough, it's merino, it doesn't take on smell, and it was dirt cheap. My mid layer isn't a fleece, my mid layer is also a merino shirt. This one is from Pally High. It's a combination of merino and bamboo. That combination makes it feel a lot smoother, almost silk-like to the touch, and for me it works a lot better in warm weather than pure merino wool. But it's got the advantages of merino too, which is that it doesn't take on odors that fast. My trousers are the Abisko Light. These are waxed windproof trousers that are also water repellent, and I like to take these with me because they don't look out of place when you're in the city, and I'll be visiting Glasgow, so that's what I like about these. Two pair of icebreaker merino boxers, two pair of merino socks, a merino wool buff, very versatile piece of gear, small travel towel, North Face hard face gloves. These are quite warm, not totally wind resistant, but almost up to it, and I find these really comfortable to hike in for prolonged periods. A head net against the midges. Now, usually the midges aren't really out yet in May, but you never know. If it happens to be warm earlier on in the year, you can already have them and they'll totally kill your mood, so better safe than sorry. My 3F UL skirt, just a lightweight rain skirt, really simple piece and much more comfortable to hike in than rain trousers. And Then I've got 2 more pieces left. The first is my Puffy Jacket, an Ayacucho I+ 3. It's on the heavy side, but it keeps me really warm, and because it can go down to freezing and my sleeping bag isn't totally prepared for that, this can be my extra layer. And last but not least, this is a North Face Hyper Air rain jacket, and this thing is awesome. It's made from the new Gore-Tex Shake Dry, which means that it doesn't wet out, and that means you can be hiking on for hours and hours and this rain jacket will still breathe. It's been a game changer for me so far. The only possible downside is that it isn't as durable. That's something I'm gonna have to find out. But it's the first rain jacket that's actually comfortable to hike in during prolonged times of rain. My Cookset is a Lixada 650ml titanium pot with the lid. I've got a BRS 3000 stove here, really light. It's not that good in windy conditions, but on shorter trips like this where I'm not far from civilization, this is my go-to stove. A big mini lighter, my trusty Opinel No. 9 folding knife. Now this is heavier than a knife I need, but I love to cook on the trail, so this is coming with me to make that a little easier. My spoon and fork are a Human Gear Duo. Now this has been sent to me by a subscriber and I've never used it before, but I'm gonna try it on the trail and see how I like it. My toiletries, again a little extra, so I've got something to put in my hair, for example, because I'll also be spending a long weekend in Glasgow. My medicine bag with some bandages, betadine, I've got some leukotape here, something against the headache, an extra top for my water bottle, things like that. A small repair kit with a bit of floss, duct tape, tear aid, patches, things like that. Onto my electronic system, I'll be taking my Google Pixel 2 XL. I've got an Anker Power Core 13400. An Anker Power Brick, which has 2 channels, so I can charge the power bank and another device at the same time. Black Diamond Iota headlamp. This also has a Li-ion battery in it, so it can be charged from the power bank. Now some small stuff left. A water bottle, of course, just a really simple one. Sunglasses, can't go without them. And I'm sporting a Soya Mini. Now the flow rate on this thing isn't the best out there, and I'd like to upgrade to a Soya Micro Squeeze in the nearby future, but for now it will suffice. And a Juice No. 2 trowel for good leave no trace principles. My trekking poles are new for this trip. These are the Visan Compact, really lightweight aluminium trekking poles that should serve me well. As always, thank you for watching, and if you liked this video, subscribe for more.